So a few months ago, was it a few months ago? Was it like at the very beginning of the year? I can't remember, but some time ago, and what seems like a fucking millennia, the Trump administration, Trump's Department of Justice, essentially like they went to like every swing state and then some, and we're like, we're gonna need all of your like voter data, like all the roll calls and all of this for millions of people. And it's like, why do you need that? So according to them, it's still like, crack down on fraud and illegal immigrants voting, even though like by their own numbers, and when I say their own numbers, even by the Heritage Foundation, like voter fraud is so rare. Like it is extremely rare. And it's the cases that happen, they are found out almost instantly, and the person or people, whatever, are punished accordingly. But to the effect that there's like voter fraud, it's so little. We're talking like dozens of cases over the course of like decades. And that's by the Heritage Foundation. All right? Don't take it from me, take it from them. So this whole, and then it leads to them doing this, and it leads to all of these election reforms, or whatever you want to call them, where essentially it's the voter ID stuff, it's the no mail-in ballot stuff. It's basically trying to come up with a way so the Trump administration can suppress and disenfranchise as many voters as they can, because I mean, this is just Republican 101. Disenfranchising voters is one of the, like, and shit like that is one of the only reasons why Republicans are even remotely still like a thing in this country. So yeah, now I assume some of those states did not give in, and now the Department of Justice is suing. It's like, oh God, okay, like I'm going to be put into a camp. Got it. All right, so this is from the Democracy Docket. DOJ sues 6 more states in sweeping push to obtain unredacted voter rolls. That is crazy. Like, and people still are like, why do you call these people like authoritarian and shit? It's like, I don't know, maybe because they're trying to get all the voting data. Like, what are they going to do with that? Like, I don't know, dude. That's just that's a little bit concerning. The Justice Department launched a new wave of lawsuits against 6 more Democratic-led states Tuesday, escalating a federal effort to seize unredacted information from millions of voters. The new suits filed against Delaware, Maryland, New Mexico, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington mirror the department's earlier cases against 8 states from earlier this year. All demand the same sweeping trove of voter data, including full names, residential addresses, birth dates, driver's license numbers, and the last 4 digits of social security numbers. Holy moly, I am going to be put in a camp. I hope it's not Alligator Alcatraz or the real Alcatraz. Like, maybe like the Deportation Depot or Speedway Slammer. Maybe one of those. Like, can I put that on my wish list for when you decide to fucking ship me off? At the center of these 6 new lawsuits is a section of the Civil Rights Act of 1960, which was originally enacted to stop Jim Crow registrars from hiding voter suppression records. Man, it's annoying when this administration uses like civil rights era like acts to just do gross authoritarian shit, while like, being like the most anti-civil rights presidency in the modern era. Like, and it's not even particularly close. The DOJ now argues that the same law gives it nearly unreviewable authority to demand entire statewide voter files for inspection, reproduction, and copying. A position deeply alarming to privacy and democracy advocates. Title III of the Civil Rights Act of 1960 imposes a sweeping obligation on election officials to retain and preserve all records and papers which come into possession relating to any application, registration, payment of poll tax, or other act requisite to voting in such election, the department wrote in all 6 new filings. Title III likewise grants the Attorney General the sweeping power to obtain these records. And the filings go even further, asserting that courts have almost no ability to examine the DOJ's motives or scope of what it wants. The CRA requires a special statutory proceeding in which the courts play a limited, albeit vital role in assisting the Attorney General's investigative powers, the department added. The court does not adjudicate the factual foundation for or the sufficiency of the Attorney General's statements of the basis and the purpose contained in the written demand or the scope of the order to produce. God, I hate legalese. Jesus Christ. It's so like, what did I even just fucking read? Okay. Anyways, the DOJ's latest filings arrive as the earlier 8 lawsuits remain stalled. Not a single one has resulted in a court-ordered disclosure. Democratic and Republican election officials alike have warned that the DOJ's demands violate state privacy laws, risking exposing voters' information for political targeting and trample the Constitution's delegation of elections to the states. Voting rights groups have moved to intervene in all of the past 8 lawsuits across the country. Jesus Christ, I'm going to be put in a concentration camp. Like, no shit. Like, why do you want this stuff? You won the last election. All right, you won it. There's nothing to challenge. You don't need this information. There was no widespread fraud. There was no what are we doing? Election fraud in the US is so rare. It is so fucking rare. And to the degree that it does happen, if it does happen, it's so insignificant. But yet you want to literally just make stuff up as an excuse to do whatever you're going to do with this voter data, and to try to get rid of mail-in voting, require voting or require proof of citizenship, like a birth certificate and all this shit. And it's when you take away mail-in ballots and when you start requiring documentation, all this documentation that a lot of people may not just have access to, and it costs money to get copies of those documents if you don't have them. Some underserved areas, mainly minority areas, are they don't really have access to get this stuff easily. I would understand if you could prove that there was actual voter fraud, but I don't even normally when Republicans try to push an agenda and want to do something, they can at least pick out one statistic or just anything, and put it on an island, and it's okay, but add context and it's all bullshit. This there's not even any statistics or any thing that they can put forward, because even like I said at the beginning of the video, even their Heritage Foundation think tank, the authors of Project 2025, their own database on election interference and voter fraud has essentially nothing. We're talking, again, dozens of cases over the course of decades. I'm sorry, that is not enough ammunition to do something like this. It's clearly motivated at disenfranchising as many people as possible, because the lower the turnout, the more likely a Republican will win. The new lawsuits intensify a national confrontation that now spans 14 states and over a third of the U.S. population. Should the DOJ prevail in any case, states could be forced to transmit deeply sensitive voter data to federal officials and potentially other agencies with little explanation and minimal judicial oversight. Jesus Christ. This is so dumb. All these lawsuits in general, just think of the political capital, and this is where a lot of your tax dollars are going to fight off of these fucking bullshit lawsuits for anything and everything, whether it's suing states because they won't hand over voter data, or all the lawsuits for Trump trying to withhold funding from X college, X school, X agency, all the lawsuits they open against states for, I don't know, now the DOJ is directly involved in the California lawsuit to prevent them from redistricting. This is so blatant, and I just, we're at a point where like it should no longer be Republican versus Democrat, left versus right. Like it should be like literally good versus evil, because these people are evil. Like the definition of evil. Like Jesus Christ. All right. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below. And if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.